Senator Marco Rubio is warning that deadly clashes in Nicaragua could lead to civil war and worsen the immigration crisis right here in the U.S. New protests are expected today after thousands of people marched yesterday to demand that President Daniel Ortega step down. The demonstrations began 3 months ago over proposed benefit cuts. Human rights groups say about 300 people have been killed during these protests, many by police. Manuel Bojorquez is in the capital city of Managua, Nicaragua. Manuel, good morning.
Good morning. There is an eerie quiet here in Managua as people largely stay indoors and business owners close up shop out of concern for their own safety. But as we found when we arrived here yesterday, after the calm, the sounds of protests once again pierce the air, and the fear of violent confrontations returns.
Within minutes of arriving in the capital, we encountered an anti-government protest and the sound of mortar fire.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
We found several young men masked and holding homemade mortar launchers. They told us they fire them to warn fellow demonstrators when pro-government forces are near.
You know you're risking your lives here.
Sabemos, pero esta es una lucha.
But this is the struggle. The fear is gone.
Yes, he says, the fear was gone on April 19th. That's the day protests started over proposed cuts to Social Security benefits. Government forces are accused of killing more than 40 people that week. Hundreds have been killed since, some even attacked while hiding in a church. The uprising continues to intensify against President Daniel Ortega, who demonstrators say has turned into a dictator and should step down. But Ortega remains defiant, insisting the protesters are being influenced by outside forces and blaming them for initiating the violence.
This neighborhood, Monimbo, had been a stronghold of the opposition. You can see here some of the barricades they had built using cobblestones from the streets. But there was a bloody confrontation with police here last week, and at this point it's still unclear how many were killed.
This woman feared being identified, but wanted to let us know one thing. Her neighborhood was not backing down.
La batalla, pero no la guerra.
Monimbo has lost the battle, but not the war. Several international organizations have called on the Nicaraguan government to stop the violent suppression of protests and to hold early elections next year. But President Daniel Ortega refuses to back down, likely setting the stage for even more demonstrations. Norah?
All right, Manuel, thank you.